With new details in the arrest of the suspected East Area rapist, also known as the Golden State Killer. Police say 72-year-old Joseph DeAngelo is among the worst serial killers and rapists in U.S. history. Authorities arrested him overnight at his home in Citrus Heights.
This case making national headlines, a string of at least 12 deaths and more than 40 rapes throughout not just Northern California, but also Southern California, dating back to the 1970s.
While the East Area rapist is accused of committing some 200 crimes, Joseph DeAngelo is currently facing charges for 8 murders, 2 in Sacramento County, 2 in Ventura County, and 4 in Orange County.
Tonight, friends and family of those victimized by the accused serial killer speaking out, expressing relief an arrest has finally been made.
With that part of the story, we go to Action News reporter Felix Cortez, live in Santa Cruz.
Well, Aaron, Dan, the victims waited decades for justice. Among them, a Santa Cruz woman whose father and stepmother are believed to be 2 victims of the Golden State Killer.
I never in my life thought that they'd get him.
Jennifer Carroll had just turned 18 when her father Lyman Smith and stepmother Charlene were brutally murdered in their Ventura home back in 1980. It would be another 20 years before their deaths would be tied to the Golden State Killer, a psychopath whose identity was unknown until now. Carroll says she got the call Wednesday morning from the Ventura County District Attorney.
He said, "Jen, it's 100% match," which is exactly in my fantasy what I imagined when we ever caught him. If we ever caught him, is that we'd have him 100% match DNA.
Police say 72-year-old Joseph James DeAngelo is the Golden State Killer, arrested Tuesday after DNA connected him to the murder of a Sacramento area couple in 1978. But investigators say his reign of terror began 2 years earlier. By 1986, when his crime spree is believed to have stopped, he had allegedly murdered a dozen people and raped more than 50 victims.
And so I just figured he had disappeared, been in jail, gotten hurt, or had died. So I'm still haven't come to terms with this day and that there's a person who's arrested. That's mind-blowing to me.
Closure, yes, not only for Carroll, but countless other friends and family of DeAngelo's victims. A former cop who may have committed some of his crimes on duty. Prosecutors say they plan to seek the death penalty.
And I hope very much he'll confess, and I do not want him on death row. I do not want him to have a private room. I don't want him thinking he's special and some death row killer. I want him in general population where he can live every minute in terror. Because I don't think he'll be safe in general population, and I want him to be terrified constantly 24/7 like he's done to us.
Jennifer Carroll says she will now use the arrest of her father's accused killer to push for a national DNA database for convicted felons. Dan, Aaron.
Felix, thank you. Tonight we are also hearing from one of the victims who was raped by the East Area rapist. She lived in Sacramento County and was just 13 years old at the time.
Police say that the rapist often piled dishes on the backs of his victims so he could hear if they moved. This is what Margaret Wardlow said about it.
Having the kitchen be upstairs in our home, I could hear him wrestling them around up there, and I heard him coming downstairs with the plates, and I knew if he comes into my room, he's going to rape my mom. If he goes into my mom's room, he's going to rape me. And so I heard him go into my mom's room, and I obviously just deduced that he was going to come into my room and rape me. He threatened everything with a harsh whisper, saying, "Do you want to die? Do you want to kill your mother?" And the minute you started to answer him, he would say, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." You know, so when I did answer him, when he asked me if I wanted to see my mother killed or if I wanted him to kill my mom, I said, "I don't care." And when he asked, "Do you want to die?" I said, "I don't care." And that was the only way I knew to really just put a cork in his lid and just make it to be where he didn't get any satisfaction out of his attack upon me.
Wardlow says that night the suspect was in her house for about an hour and a half. The neighbor eventually heard her mother screaming and came to help.
So after decades of no answers, the Sacramento County District Attorney says DNA helped solve the case in just the last 6 days, and that Joseph DeAngelo's name hadn't been on authorities' radar in connection with this case before last week. The East Area Rapist got the nickname because of where his crimes began. From 1976 through 1978, a series of rapes and break-ins started in Sacramento County. The crimes would ultimately spread to Yolo, San Joaquin, and Stanislaus counties, and then the crimes abruptly stopped there. But years later, DNA evidence connected the East Area Rapist to murders in Southern California and in the Bay Area. The closest to us happened in San Jose.